Reads. So in today's video, we are doing my December wrap up, which, you know what? I had a really good December. I read more than what I did in November. You remember I told you guys, I said I got to read more in December because I read like one or two books in November because I was obsessed with the From Scratch by Timby Locke. But I did what I was supposed to do. So we had a really good, month in December. Of course, you already know how we do our wrap-ups. We do books, music, and movies. So let's just get started. Okay, for the books, I read 3 books this month. And the first one I read was Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory. This was my first time reading this author, and it probably won't be my last. I really did like this story so much. I tend to notice when it comes to like romances, I like that trope of like older people getting a second chance or falling back in love. And this is the prime example. You have the main character, Vivian. She is going to London with her daughter. Her daughter is like a stylist, and she gets a chance during the holidays, during Christmas time, to go with her daughter. And she meets Malcolm, and Malcolm is like the personal secretary to the Queen. And they just start a little thing, and I really loved it. I loved the dialogue. I loved everything. It was really cute. Again, in December, I wanted to read something at least like holiday, and this got me where I needed to be. So yeah. Next is Uncle Tom's Cabin. Listened to it while I was reading it, and it was fantastic. The audio is about 18 hours or 20, somewhere around there, because this book is it's over 600 pages. But okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. In the beginning, it's not that it was boring, because this book actually is not boring at all. Well, I think I wasn't in the mood at first. When it comes to slave narratives, you got to get your mind right. Okay, you got to be in the mood. And with this, it's a lot of stereotypes and things like that. So I kind of was not in the mood, but I'm like, this is my last book. I don't know why I waited till December. I actually started it in like November, put it down, and I was like, well, I'll wait until December to do that. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking, last year I did the same thing. I had like a 600 plus book with Queen, and it's up with me reading books at the end of the year that has slavery theme. I just thought about that. Okay, anyway, after I was like, okay, I got the right mindset and I was determined to finish this. Unbelievable. My favorite character probably is, I liked Eliza, but Cassie, girl, the way she describes what her owner did and how he just played the mess out of her. Obviously Uncle Tom is based on a man named Josiah Henson. Read something with Josiah Henson saying that his owner was very similar to the one in here, where one time I think they said he cut off his dad's ear and like served it to somebody. It was real, oh Lord. But yeah, her story. Oh, and even with Uncle Tom, you know what? That man has so much courage and so much faith. When you refer to someone as Uncle Tom, it's like a criticism. They shading you. But this man, girl. And you know what? How I was aware of him is actually a clip of the Jeffersons. And I will play that for you right now.
Tell me something, George. You like to use the words Uncle Tom a lot.
Only when it fits.
Do you know who Uncle Tom really was?
Sure. He was that dumb nigga used to thank Simon Legree for whipping him.
Wrong. That's another one of those lies about our people that has been accepted as truth.
Who was he then? Superfly in disguise?
No, George. In real life, Uncle Tom was a slave named Josiah Henson, who escaped and walked all the way from Kentucky to Canada with his wife and children. And there he started the first manual training school for our people. Helped 100 slaves escape up north even before there was an underground railroad. He was a brave man, a great leader. And I'll tell you something else, George. I'd never call you an Uncle Tom.
So that's how I was aware of Josiah Henson. Look, the power of media, okay? But yeah, guys, if you haven't read this, please read it. I can go on and on about this. I highlighted this. I tabbed it. I mean, girl. And I love how it connects at the end. Because if you know Eliza's story and Cassie, and I don't want to give it away, but I was just like, oh, it made me like that. And then the last book I read, which, girl, it got me all the way together. The Street by Ann Petrie. This, unbelievable. Oh, Lord, this twist and turns, so modern, so contemporary. I was forgetting sometimes that this book is written in 1946 because, Lord, when it comes to race, when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to gender, when it comes to poverty, nothing has changed. Not a lot. And she explores this. Was the first woman to sell over 1 million copies. And I can understand why. I really can. I am on a little kick of hers. I have listened to, oh Lord, 2 of her short stories. I have some anthologies that have some of her short stories, and I have been engrossed in that. I will be getting more of her works because I have to read more of her. So I know this year, you guys know, obviously, like I said, I follow my TBR, but I do have some spontaneous reads. We'll be reading another book by her. And I did a reading vlog. I'll link it down below. Check it out, because, girl, I'll give you the ins and outs. Just unbelievable. So that was all for the books. I did kind of good, all right? Now, let's go to the movies. I literally only watched one movie this month. And it was Little Women, the 1994 version. Because that's the only one I really like. I don't like the one with Elizabeth Taylor and Katharine Hepburn. And that new one, girl, trash, okay? Nobody can play Josephine March like Winona Ryder. Nobody, okay? And not only is the actor superb, but that music, girl. And of course, since it was Christmas time, I like to watch that during the Christmas holidays. Fun fact, I actually have never read Little Women. I need to read that because I've seen that movie so many times. I grew up watching that movie, okay? Girl, know it word to word. So the only movie I watch in December. Now let's do music. So you guys know all through my Vlogmas videos, I would incorporate 3 Christmas songs that I would listen to that day, and I did that for the whole 25 days. I just stopped at Christmas because I'm the type of person where I like to listen to Christmas music like in December, and after Christmas is over, I'm done. All of them were by Black artists and bands and all of that. So I had everyone from Destiny's Child to CeCe Winans to The Emotions, Jackson 5, who else? OJ's. I would say my favorite this year that I had on repeat. Well, I always have 8 Days of Christmas by Destiny's Child. Grew up, listening to that. Destiny's Child is probably, I would have to say, my favorite girl group of all time. Second is In Vogue. But I always mention Destiny's Child because that was the first CD that I bought ever. It was Writings on the Wall. Yes. Okay. But that was on rotation. But you know what the song I listened to over and over and over and over again? The OJ's Carol of the Bells. Oh, Lord. And you know what? When you listen to that, I said, wait, them men are just humming. They're not actually they're not actually singing the lyrics, the harp of the bells, sweet silver bells. They're not doing that. They're literally humming. And the way they did that arrangement is just, girl, and Eddie Levert singing that, the way he starts off, girl. So that was probably my favorite of this year. So yeah, Christmas music was on, rotation during the whole month of December. But I did get in one album, and that album was Vicki Winans' The Lady. Now, girl, I grew up with Vicki Winans. That voice is just so powerful and strong. She's in her own league, okay? And you know what I was thinking? Not a lot of people know Vicki Winans, and that's crazy because her voice is just, oh, girl. you don't want to sing behind Vicki Winans, okay? But the Lady album, unbelievable. If you know the background of that album, she got a lot of flack. People actually in the gospel community didn't like it. They almost kind of banned it because she has if you listen to it, it was in the 90s. It's a lot of beats. I mean, it's like beats on beats. But the words, she's talking about faith. She's talking about Christ. She's, it's not, no shade to the new music where they got all these beats and they barely say Jesus. They might say a little word like, oh, encouragement, faith. She throwing Jesus all through there. Okay, she throwing scripture. She doing all of it, okay? And then you got the beats, and then you got her voice. But she got the beats, but she also got some slow jams on there. Well, Lord, I shouldn't say slow jams, because that's like, she got some slower tunes on there, okay? Oh, okay. Throw Your Life Away, of course. Just When. Well, you know what? I love all of them. I love all of them. I honestly do. I can't even tell y'all. Oh, Lord. Yes. So, please, you guys, listen to that album. Now, sadly, you only can really listen to it on YouTube, and if you have like a copy of it, because that album was distributed by Blackground Records, and Blackground Records was Aaliyah's uncle, what's his name, Barry Hawkins or something like that, and he not releasing people's music, okay? And he didn't release that. Like, you can't get that. Just, how, for example, we just got 1 in a million on streaming and things like that. For a long time, you couldn't get 1 in a million. Like, if you went on iTunes back in the day, you couldn't get that. So if you go on iTunes and look up Vicki Winans' whole catalog, the lady's not going to be on there because he hasn't released the music right. So that's just sad. So yeah, this is my wrap up. I had a really good, like I said, December. I had a really good December. I had a really good Christmas. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you. I'll be back with more Black Books. Bye.